The top 10 action figures of 2023 from my collection. Let's get into it. Greetings, toy heads, and welcome to another episode of Go Figure with me, your host, Eli Williams, the action figure show about news, reviews, collecting, tips, customizations, kit bashing, everything that goes into this fun, nerdy hobby that you and I both love. And in this very special episode, we're going to be going over the top 10 action figures of 2023 from my collection, starting with number 10, the NECA Dungeons & Dragons Ultimate War Duke. I have never been a big advocate or collector of NECA. I have a few of them in my collection, but when this came up for pre-order, I had to absolutely jump on this because the attention to detail and all of the childhood memories came flooding back, because I had this one and was it Lionheart and all of those guys, Melf, Perle. I had tons and tons of these guys, and this one was my favorite. Probably the most notable Dungeons and Dragons figures out of that Galoob line that came out back in the 80s. And as I said, I've never really been that big of a NECA advocate, but they hit all the marks with this. The attention to detail with the paint apps and the armor and the blue chainmail on the arm and the leg. The accessories that this came with was just phenomenal. Down to from the shininess of the shield to the fire effect that you can put on his sword. The scabbard on the back, everything is just so delicately detailed and painted to perfection, and that's why this one comes in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is the Hasbro Indiana Jones Adventure Series Raiders of the Lost Ark Indiana Jones. Basically the vanilla Indiana Jones. And how could you not have this on this list? The moment that Hasbro announced that they were going to be, that they got the license for the Indiana Jones series and that they were going to be producing the figures, we all of our heads just exploded. I can't say that it is the greatest figure as far as articulation, because, you know, they again, I've mentioned this before in my videos, they missed the bicep swivel, they missed the double knee, but for accuracy and detail, you cannot deny that this makes it. Now, I have two of these. I have one that I replaced the belt and the whip with the Gridiron Studios loadout, which it looks good too. And if you want to see that, it's in my old I did a video on that actual loadout back in my content. But I mean, this just looks, not only did they really pay attention to detail with this, but the likeness of Harrison Ford, this has to be the first time that Hasbro really nailed it. Now, coming out this year, and next year when I do this same video, it'll probably be on there, and that is the Mezco 1/12 Collective Indiana Jones. I do have that on pre-order, and I mean, that one's probably going to kick this one's butt, because Mezco is Mezco, and, you know, there is a price to pay for them, but it looks pretty good. But this, for now, for what we've got out of all the Indiana Jones figures that have ever been created, this does it for me, and that's why this makes it to number 9. Coming in at number 8 is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Series Target exclusive Black Widow. Anyone watching this that is a Marvel collector of Hasbro stuff would not deny that this should be on the list. This is a just phenomenal figure. So comic accurate. Came with 3 heads. Now those, if you haven't watched my unboxing and review video of this, I had a little bit of trouble because this particular head that's on her didn't come with it. I got 2 identical heads. I got the short hair, and then I got the 2 versions of the long hair with the bangs. I did not get this. I contacted Hasbro, and being just so gracious, they didn't have this, so they sent me the I did an unboxing and review of it, the Hawkeye with the Sky Cycle, because they didn't have this, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, this figure hits all the articulation marks, butterfly joints, bicep swivel, double knee, thigh swivel, drop down ball joint, hip, everywhere. Comes with tons and tons of accessories, gun effects, wrist, swappable stinger wrists with effects. Just absolutely stunning figure. Undeniably so. And that is why this makes it to number 8. And staying with Marvel on this, with number 7, we've got the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Knight's Blade. I was absolutely thrilled to get this, and I'm judging these not just on articulation, but just overall appearance. And this really looks great. I am not a big fan of rubber coats and capes and whatnot, and this will probably get this will probably end up getting a cloth goods coat. But I mean, this just looks fantastic. Comes with 2 glaives, 2 wooden stakes, the sword. Just looks fantastic. Looks really leathery and mean and tough. Very reminiscent of the Wesley Snipes blade from the movie, but because of licensing issues, we'll probably never see a Wesley Snipes Marvel Legends. But this is probably about as close as we will ever get. And it just looks fantastic. If you don't have one of these already, seriously, you need to pick one of these up. And that's why this rolls right in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 is the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Walmart exclusive retro carded Snake Eyes. I could have done almost this entire top 10 list with G.I. Joe Classified Series, because this year Hasbro has knocked it out of the park. These are so well detailed and so well articulated, and this being the reminiscent of the original Snake Eyes when he was just a commando and not a ninja yet. This really hits the mark, and it just looks great, being virtually 98% all in black with a little bit of green and a little bit of red and silver. He comes with all the right stuff. He's got everything that he came with originally in the old Hasbro 3 3/4 inch line, but with a few other accessories and nuances. And as I said, I've limited my G.I. Joe Classified series on this list to 2, and this being one of them. Yeah, you cannot deny that this Snake Eyes is just incredible looking. And again, not judging just on articulation and quality, but overall appearance, overall shelf presence, I think is what I'm going for on this. And that is why Snake Eyes comes in at number 6. Coming in at number 5 and staying with G.I. Joe Classified Series is the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series General Hawk. I haven't not even had this one that long, and the minute that this came out, that they had this up, they were making it, and they were pre-ordering, I'm like, I'm all over this. Again, there's so many. I mean, I would love to have Shipwreck on this list. I would love to have Snow Job on this list. But I've got to put credit where credit's due as far as my most nostalgic characters, and that original Snake Eyes and this General Hawk definitely hit the marks, because this is a guy, anytime when my G.I. Joes went into battle back in the day, this guy was leading the charge. And just when I did an unboxing and review of this, all of those memories just came flooding back. They did such an incredible job of recreating the original figure with this. I don't necessarily know if he needed to come with a grenade launcher or not. I kind of feel like that was, but you know, you can never have too many weapons when you're in battle. But, you know, the shotgun, the two pistols, the removable helmet, both types of goggles, just that leather jacket with the shininess and the wool collar, that U.S. Tampo flag on the side, just everything about this just screams retro. And I love the fact that Hasbro is moving back towards the retro look on stuff and not trying to modernize them. I'm glad that they've drifted away from that. But General Hawk is such a fantastic figure, and that is why he comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series 40th Anniversary Return of the Jedi Retro Carded Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. Man, that's a mouthful. I had to add this on there because this is such a great rendition of this character. They have the new lightsaber blade on there. They have a brand new head sculpt for Luke. They basically took that original crappy like swappable chest figure and completely remodernized it. Again, I wish that they would, I don't know what the deal is with Black Series, why they don't put and Indiana Jones Adventure Series, why they don't do the double elbow bicep swivel. Some of them get double knees, but this just looks so great. It was really a toss-up between whether I was going to do this one or whether I was going to do the Mandalorian light cruiser Luke. And I went with this one because just overall presence and the packaging and everything with it, it just screamed childhood memories to me. And this Luke just is, this is my favorite Luke Skywalker now. Ever since I've only had it a few months, but such a great job that they did with this. And I mean, undoubtedly the best Mark Hamill likeness that it's not completely 100% accurate and close, but that's probably about as close as they have ever been. And that is why this one rolls in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 and staying with Star Wars, we've got the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series 40th Anniversary Return of the Jedi Retro Carded Darth Vader. Again, big mouthful. I know it's been a year for Darth Vader. Believe me, I completely get it. But this is just fantastic. Look at that helmet shine. Look at that. It's picking up the ring lights, the reflection of my ring lights on there. This just looks so good. Again, with the new saber blades, most of it is reused from the former Vaders, but they've really given it a polished look on the armor. They did a great job with the removable helmet. It is a little hinky getting that helmet to line up and stay on. I've managed to get mine to sit pretty well. I know some people have had problems with theirs, but just overall, this to me is the best Darth Vader that Hasbro's made. I know there would be some people that would argue over whether or not it's the best Darth Vader figure ever made. But again, I'm just going with stuff that I got. And this to me is just the definitive Darth Vader. It hits all the marks. The only problem I would really have with it is that because they tried to make it a universal generic Darth Vader, they gave it the red lenses. And as we know, Vader didn't really have red lenses in Return of the Jedi. But this is a remake of the original Vader, which did have red lenses. And they called it the Sad Walrus Darth Vader. But that's why mine on my shelf has his helmet off with Luke kneeling down and holding the helmet. I literally have for that Return of the Jedi in battle. I have a whole sequence of the events: Emperor in the chair, and Vader and Luke, and then Emperor shocking Luke, and yeah, just the little progression leading up to this one and the former Luke Skywalker that I just mentioned, and that is why this Vader undoubtedly rolls right in at number 3. And web swinging its way into number 2 and jumping back into Marvel, we have the Hasbro Marvel Legends series retro carded No Way Home Final Swing Tom Holland Spider-Man. This, when I got this, I have 2 of these. This is actually the one that's actually on my Marvel shelf isn't this one. This one is actually up right above on the top of my desk in my studio, right in my cantina scene of my my Star Wars, because my Star Wars Black Series are actually on the top of my desk in my office. The shelf, the little top shelf area of my desk. When I got this, actually when I saw this come up for pre-order, which wasn't really that long ago, I'm just like, that looks really good. And when I got it, the reason why I have 2 is I was waiting on this this pre-order to ship because I'd got the other 2. I'd got the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield, and I happened to be out at a Walmart, and they had the whole wave, and I'm just like, I'm getting it. And that's the one. This is the one that I actually had pre-ordered and came in from Amazon. The one I did an unboxing review of was the one that I got at Walmart, and this does not disappoint. I was a big fan of the retro carded, the original retro carded Spider-Man, the very classic comic book Spider-Man. And when I got this just screamed Ditko. It looks so good. The sheen to the blue and the contrast of that down to the matte finish, like basketball material, to the red with the, and I've gone over this one and my other one, and I don't see any paint slops on those black lines at all. They did such a good job, even down to the spider logo on the chest that is part of the sculpt. It's not painted on. The red spider on the back isn't painted on. It's sculpted on. This whole figure is just fantastic. And I mean, undeniably, I cannot gush over this thing enough. And I'm not that super of a Marvel fan. I am more of a DC fan than I am a Marvel fan. But I have to give credit where credit is due, and this is such a great figure. And that is why Spider-Man swings in at number 2. Now, there are a few honorable mentions I want to touch on before I hit my number 1 on this list, and there are so many figures that were just so fantastic, and so many of them were G.I. Joe Classified series. But I had to give credit where credit is due as far as the G.I. Joe Classified series go, and I just did the review of this one the other day, and that is the G.I. Joe Classified series, Mutt and Junkyard, Shipwreck, and the 2023 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Chuckles, as well as the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series 40th Anniversary Return of the Jedi Retro Carded Endor Rebel Commando, and the re-release and updated version and size corrected version of R2-D2. In the back there, we've got the McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman. As some of you know, I'm not an advocate for Todd McFarlane figures because I don't like the scale size of them. They're not 1/12 scale, they're 1/9 scale. But I have to give credit where credit is due. Batman is my favorite DC character, and the Jim Aparo, Dick Giordano style Batman is my favorite, and they nailed it with that. The 2023 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Deadpool and Hydra Bob, this being the Deadpool of that, I did swap. I bought an unmasked head and swapped the head out for that. But, you know, that certainly I would have liked to have had on the list. But just being a selfish guy that I am, I had to include me in this. A good friend of mine, James Wilkie, at where I work, that was my Christmas present from last year. And the selfie series being gone now, that's that. But I didn't get this until I think it was like in February of this year when I got this. So I had to kind of include that as well. So, there are so many figures I would like to have lined up on this stage that, as far as honorable mentions. But it's just we would be here for a couple of hours. So let's jump into it. And swooping in and saving the day at number 1 is the Mezco 1/12 Collective Superman Man of Steel Edition. My God, this figure I went through so much drama over this because people were getting it from Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store, and I ordered mine directly from Mezco, and they were just like, oh, it's gonna ship, and I had to wait, and it was worth the wait. This is, and I know Mezco is not something a lot of people can afford. I only have a handful of them. I don't collect these on a regular basis because I don't have that kind of pocketbook for this, but this just hits every single mark you can possibly hit. This is, in my opinion, in a 1/12 scale, the best Superman figure, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that would agree with this. This is the best Superman figure in a 1/12 scale that's ever been made. You just simply cannot deny that. So many alternate heads. It's got a head with a battery in it that with light up red eyes. It's got a head that you've got 2 different swappable beam effects to put in. It's got the little thing with all the kryptonite under the lead glass. It's got the Phantom Zone projector. It's got the Black Heart. It's got a Starro that you can put on his face. Just tons and tons of hands and accessories and goodies that came with this thing. Cloth, goods, costume, cape, wired cape. There's nothing else to say. I mean, it speaks for itself. It's Superman. It is the definitive comic book Superman. And you just simply cannot deny that this is a great figure. So that is why the Mezco 1/12 Collective Superman Man of Steel Edition came in a metal tin, makes number 1 on my list. So that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that bell so you can get information on all the good things coming out of my channel. You all have yourselves a great week, great day, a safe and happy New Year's Eve, and a figure-fantastic 2024. I'll see you next time, and until then, don't forget to get your figure on. Take care.